Alright, so hello to all gamers and savages out there. Let's talk about Rick and Morty Season 3, Young Justice Season 3, and I was going to touch on Spider-Man Homecoming, but y'all have enough information on that provided by the internet, so we're not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Let's talk about PlayStation 5 love-hate relationship, but before we get into any of that, I have a question for you. Are you ready?
I was going to use your ship to destroy the rich assholes that run our society and save my people from the horrors of this yearly festival.
Rick, we got a killer! Killer! Fight my shiny metal ass!
Let me start this off by saying my personal hopes and predictions for Season 3. I hope that Rick's past is more so explained. Because of the fact that we see the emotional toll that Beth is taking on with Rick leaving once again, and also for when he left the first time. We see during that last episode, from when Beth is talking to Bird Person about, well, did Rick ever mention me or what, and he's just playing her off. You know, definitely go check out that last episode if you have not. By the way, spoilers, I guess. You should know that if you're watching this right now. So, what is it about Rick's past or his history that has got him into such deep waters that he's in now? Yes, we've seen what he's done. We've seen all of this, but all of this is while he's back with Beth, Jerry, Summer, and also Morty. I want to know what happened from the moment he developed the portal gun, maybe a little bit before then as well. Before he developed the portal gun, when he did his first 100 adventures before Morty was born, and just everything about his past. I feel like as though Season 3 would be great to introduce that. I also feel like as though Season 3 would be great to introduce Evil Morty. This specific character, it would make a great comeback, especially there is a lot that the producers could do with this character. Last time we seen Evil Morty, he was walking off or getting deported with all the other Mortys across the galaxy. So it would be great for this character to make a triumphant comeback to see, does he try to do what he did before but on a greater scale, or does he try to do something different? What happens from there? Speaking of Evil Morty, the Morty that we're seeing right now, the Morty that we're watching, the Morty that we know or that we think we know, is he becoming more Rick or more Evil Morty? Reason why I say that is because for the Morty side of things, he tries to impress Rick too much, and it ends up blowing up in his face. Phrasing, by the way. And for the Evil Morty side of things, it's a lot of a teeter, but for the Evil Morty side of things, during the Purge episode especially, we get to see the dark, the little dark buttons or spots of Morty in his character, that he's really, kind of fed up with the way that Rick is doing things. Another episode that we get to see this in is when Rick practically destroys the Federation and also the Council of Ricks all in one swoop. Here it is, this whole Mexican standoff, and you have Morty with a gun, and although yes, there is a Summer there, although Summer's there, you see that there's two Ricks. Technically there's two Ricks there trying to really push his buttons on everything. Also, Summer is doing the same thing, and Morty ends up shooting his Rick, and it's just wow, okay, yes, although Rick had planned for that to happen, but his reaction to it, it's just, he's really fed up with the way that Rick is handling or doing things or goes about their adventures. Well, on the other hand, he tries so hard to impress him that it blows up in his face, and this part gets him even more angry. You know, when it doesn't work out, when Rick makes very sarcastic or asshole-ish comments towards him, you know, it really ends up blowing up in his face. So, what is going to happen as far as Morty's character, as far as his emotions towards Rick while he's in prison? Also, what is going to happen to Beth and also Jerry's relationship? Oh man, this is more heart-wrenching than a Twilight movie. What is going to happen with their relationship? You know, we've seen so many times where Beth is either about to leave Jerry, or Jerry is just fed up with everything that's been going on in the relationship, or Jerry wants to keep trying to expand the length of their relationship, to see what new things they can do, how they can still coexist, and at almost every turn it doesn't end up going his way, or it doesn't end up going Beth's way. Especially in the Me Seeks episode, we see that Beth knows that she deserves better. You know, that she deserves to have a better person other than Jerry, but also we do see that Jerry's the only person that really completes her. So it would be interesting to see what happens with the relationship with Rick gone. You know, Jerry blames a lot of stuff on Rick. So now that Rick is in prison, for the third season, it would be interesting to see what happens without Rick there. Challenges for Rick. I feel as though throughout the entire series, we see Rick and his intelligence be either underestimated, overestimated, or just challenged, period, by other species, other beings. And I would like to see the challenge that is presented to him in the third season. With him in prison. Okay, so totally forgot that I already seen the first episode of the third season. Don't know how. Should have reminded myself when I recorded this. I took down notes, all of that nature, but totally forgot that I already seen the first episode. However, it would have been nice to see this development during all this time if he was still in prison and the first episode didn't happen the way that it happened. But I'm describing throughout the entire season, this is what I would like to see. So, you know, you take what you can get, but just disregard some of the stuff that I'm saying because I totally forgot that I already seen the first episode. Okay, and back to me. Into the Morty that Rick always calls him, a little pussy, and what does his character really mean at this point with season 3 with Rick in prison? What does his character really develop into? Personally, everybody loves Morty and Rick and the entire cast, from the main characters to even Mr. Peepy Butthole, Bird Person, everybody. So it definitely, it does matter, but then it doesn't, whether or not he either mans up or digresses. But it would be interesting to see his character, for me personally, it would be interesting to see his character kind of step up a little bit, not so much give Rick the cold shoulder, but start to have more confidence in himself than what he gives himself credit for. So with all that being said, let's talk about crossovers. There's already so many conspiracy theories. There are already so many theories and also proven facts that have gone on with Rick and Morty. There is the first episode where Rick opens up a series of portals, and through one of them you see a notepad, a pen, and a cup. Don't quote me on those 3 exact items. I'm pretty sure that those are the items. But you see them start to come through a portal. Those are the same exact items that were thrown through a portal in Gravity Falls, or so they say. So what other crossovers can we expect? We already seen no crossover with The Simpsons, although they died. but we already see them do that. We see so many other cartoons like Rick and Morty, or cartoons that are shown throughout the Adult Swim family that have different crossovers. You already have where Futurama has made so many different crossovers and references to different cartoons, different movies, different productions, and things of that nature. So for this one, for Rick and Morty, the newest up and coming and one of the greatest cartoons that are out there, what crossovers can we see from this third season? What happens from this point on? Do they expand on that whole Gravity Falls thing, or do they take a different approach into a different genre? So with both of those, what happens from there? Does this open the door for more cartoons to have more crossovers with different networks, or are we just going to just leave it at that? Yes, we've even seen Family Guy hint at old Mickey Mouse and also current Mickey Mouse. We've seen so many crossovers with that, and also Futurama, and also we've seen Family Guy talk about Robot Chicken and things of that nature. But enough about Seth MacFarlane and that amazing, beautiful man. Rick and Morty, Season 3. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. More videos coming out soon on Young Justice Season 3 and also PlayStation 5. Love it or hate it. But for right now, I want you guys to post down in the comments, do you think Morty is becoming more evil Morty or more Rick? Which one has the greater influence on the Morty that we're seeing right now? Which one do you think will win towards Season 3? Does he become more evil Morty, or does he become more Rick?